How about we touch on laziness today, shall we? Yeah. What's up, socials? Happy Social Thursday. I know that it gets tough sometimes when you're trying to let the whole world in social media know that you're cool and you know what's up. You're trying to get your work done. You're trying to tweet. It doesn't always work out because you gotta apply some time for one thing and then the other, and then they try to coincide and it's like, this ain't working. Well, I know that sometimes it's hard for me to always read up on the latest things that are happening in my industry, but I want to be able to share those things with my community. If you're not already using Buffer app, this video is gonna make you completely change your mind about that. So you've probably heard me talk about Buffer a million times. This is what I use as my social scheduler for Twitter. So I fill in the Buffer with lots of cool things to tweet about, some things about myself, some things about other people, so that my community knows the type of information that I want to share with them, and so they can be smarter by following me. Well, sometimes we get a little ambitious with how many slots in the Buffer that we want to fill, and coming up with content to fill every single one is kind of difficult. On the web app, they actually already started doing this, where if you log into Buffer app and you go to your scheduler to add stuff, there's stuff already there waiting for you, like, hey, what do you think of this stuff? We've already prepared it for you. Just throw it into the Buffer if you want. They're already making it so much easier for you to not even have to do any research to be able to share great content. Well, Buffer came out with an entirely new app completely around this idea. Buffer came out with an app called Daily, and it sends you an update every day, once a day, when new articles have been curated for you to check out. You log into the app and you go to the Buffer account of which you need to fill, and based on the preferences that you've set and the topics that you would like to see for that account, it will give you a bunch of articles that it's already researched, are really cool, and are ready to tweet for you to quickly add to your Buffer. Or if it doesn't look interesting to you at all, you can say, no thanks, go to the next one. The UI is amazing. It's a seamless process. You can literally add like 15 things or more to your Buffer immediately without having to do a whole bunch of work. Ideally, you'll read the articles first and decide that they're a good idea, but you don't really have to. There's only a few different areas for categories or topics right now that you can choose from, but they do try to limit the type of content that you get, so you're not just looking at a cluster of a whole lot of things that don't actually apply to you. But you can select to just have all of that content sent to you, or only see what Buffer is really loving. The marketing related ones, inspiration related, business and startup related, life hacking, or design. I'm sure they're working on more topics to come, but these are probably the best categories for the types of people that are actually looking for content to share on a regular basis from this app. So not only can you do this on Buffer web app, you now have a whole app on your phone that will allow you to do this in a cab ride, while you're on a conference call that's boring you to death, while you're commuting in some way. I mean, literally, you could do this so quickly and easily. There's no excuse to not have a full Buffer of great information to share to your audience. Download it, okay? Like, what else do I have to do to make tweeting easier for you people? That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. I wanted to remind you, if you're watching this video somewhat recently after it publishes, I'm doing a couple of webinars next week. Top 7 tips to being a pro vlogger. I picked a few time slots so we can accommodate for different people in different cities, and there's a whole lot of construction going on outside, sorry. But make sure you check out the link for that in the description. I hope you can join me. It's totally free, it's live. There's gonna be Q&A, so hopefully if you guys have questions, we can talk about it. But find the time slot that works best for you and get there, okay? And show up on time, because there's only allowed to be 100 people in each event. So if you're late, you might not get in if there's already 100 people in there. Be sure to tweet with me at Schmittastic and at SavvySexySocial. Sign up for Amy's Elite so you don't miss a beat. That's my email newsletter. The link's in the annotation. And I will see you next Tuesday for Savvy Tuesday.